Ah, look at me excited for Monarch Season 2. Oh, how I was wrong. What's cooking, my rock and rollers? Hope you had a wonderful day today. Today's video is going to be about the season, well, I would say season finale, but the overall season 2 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I did, I think, 2 trailer reactions for both the trailers that came out, and today, as of this recording, which is April 30th, the finale aired for the second season, and I just wanted to give my overall thoughts on the season. Which, as the title suggests, I was a mixed bag. Okay, let me get this out of the way. So I'll go through quick. So the first 2 episodes of season 2, I genuinely liked. I was like, okay, I was interested. I like what they were doing. Great. The finale, which just aired today, great. I generally thought it was a good finale. I liked what happened. I like what they set up. Spoilers in this video in case you didn't know, but I like what they set up with Rodan in season 3 and how what's this something Kentaro, how he's like going rogue trying to rescue his dad inside like the Axis Mundi. That stuff. Oh, and okay, before I get the brawl between Kong and Titan X, that was good. I mean, they did the same thing where they cut to the humans a little bit too much, but the fight was still good. There was one cool shot though I really liked where Kong first comes into the battlefield, like they know the with this Apex adjacent people, I guess they lure Kong in to fight Titan X, and there's a cool shot. And I think you see it in one of the trailers where like he jumps off the mountain, comes down, and you see it from the human perspective as he walks by, and you see these giant creatures. That stuff. That one part was cool. So yeah, so the bookends, basically, episodes 1 and 2 and the finale, I thought were great. Everything else in between, though, I was bored by it, guys. I wanted to be invested. I wanted, it's Godzilla, it's monsters. I like, that type of stuff, but I was just so bored with it. As of right now, the title of this video, as I'm first planning the title, is something like The Perfect Modern Show, because I think that's perfectly how you sum up this show. Just everything. It has great special effects in some parts. So Kong, let's start with that. So if Kong, he looks good. Early in the season, like episodes 1, because Kong appears in episode 1 and 2, I think. Maybe a little bit in 3 and 4, like in the beginning, that he disappears for the end and he comes back at the end. In the earlier part of the season, his face looks a little bit off in some scenes, like the render wasn't quite done. However, in the finale, he looked great in the finale. So I don't know if they just saved it to the end or what, but he looked good in the end. In the beginning, not so much. Godzilla, for the little he does show up in, literally, I just said spoilers. Everything you see of Godzilla in the trailer is all his scenes in the show. Like, literally, I think the trailer had more screen time than he did. He did have a really cool fight with Titan X, on the beach where he shows up, and the fight was somewhat good. Not as good as the Kong one, because they kept cutting away to the humans again. Well, they did it in both, but it was worse than the Godzilla one, in my opinion. So that was really annoying. There was some really cool underwater shots of Godzilla of him swimming, which we haven't seen that much of since, well, they did a King of Monsters, and I think they did a little bit in Godzilla vs. Kong, but it's been a while since we've seen him underwater, and that was cool. It was like some cool, just him swimming kind of like a reptile iguana type creature. That was sweet. But yeah, Godzilla, he acts as like, the balancing he does. He shows up, kind of puts Titan X in its place. Hey, you stay there, and then he disappears. Other than that, Titan-wise, I think that was it. We don't see a lot of new Titans. We see Titan X, Godzilla, Kong, little crab creatures that I guess attached to Titan X, some caterpillars. There were some cool Skull Island creatures when they actually, the episodes that take place on Skull Island, there were some cool creatures. Another thing I thought of, maybe it's just me, but some of the sets just look cheap. I don't know if it was like, I think it has to do with the lighting. Like a lot of modern shows where just the lighting is just awful. I call it the Netflix problem because they're the ones that kind of pioneered it. But yeah, especially like the landscape shots of Skull Island, when you see like the trees and it's like the huge mountains, that looks good. But then when it cuts to the people on the ground, something seemed cheap about it. Something seemed off. Maybe it's just me. I could be wrong. But I'm kind of rambling a little bit. So the title of the video is The Perfect Monarch Show, because that's what it is. It's all style and no substance. It's big budget, all that, but the writing of this show is just atrocious. Every episode, it seemed, it was ramping up, and then it would stop because we had to talk about our feelings, and you made me feel like this. Well, I don't like that. I feel like this, and it's like, okay, we get it. Yo, you're all written by women. Let's just be honest. You're all written by women. That's why you're doing this. Yo, guys, we're just gonna get hate now. Well, might as well go ahead. Because again, like with season 1. My complaint with season 1, well, my biggest complaint with season 1 was the stuff set in the 50s, I loved. The stuff set in the present day, I thought was boring. And it's a little different here. The stuff set in the 50s is still good in season 2, but it's kind of intermixed with each other since, you know, Kiko is now in present day and Lee's in present day. And so the timelines do kind of, you know, blend a little bit better. And still trash, though. Because, like, let's just face it, Kurt Russell, well, I guess the Russell in general, Kurt and his son Wyatt, are the only things that held this season together. And even in some parts, I was like, ooh, it sounds like, is Kurt's really trying? Like, he's trying to make this sound good, but even he was having some problems with it in some scenes. But the other characters, I don't care. Like Kate, I don't care about her character. I just don't. Maybe I'm the asshole. Maybe. I feel nothing for her, which is kind of funny because in the first season, season 1 premiered 2023, I think, like December 2023, and then a couple months later, Shogun premiered, and Anna Sawai was obviously in both, and it was at that moment where I realized, like, oh, it's the writing, because, you know, I first saw her in Monarch, and I hated her in season 1, and then I watched Shogun, and I was like, oh my god, like, you're actually a good actress. It's not her, that's the problem, it's the writing. So that was kind of my experience anyway, my first kind of big, like, oh my god, it's the writing of the show. It's not the actresses or the actors, it's the writing. So Kate's annoying. Kiko is, I guess, okay, she's okay. Kentaro, the brother, just like Kate, whatever. The black girl, May, I liked her a little better this season, but still bad. There was one character I thought I would hate, but I ended up kind of liking, and that's Tim, the dude with the glasses. I actually kind of like him. I mean, he is the stereotypical, like, kind of bumbling white guy who talks too much, but which is something, you know, I'm against because I don't like it in all the shows, but I kind of dig it with him. I don't know why. It's just his personality, his overall demeanor. I kind of like him. Like, I'm cool with him sticking around. Plot-wise, I can't really talk about it just because it's kind of convoluted with like a bunch of time jumps and this and that. There was one cool thing I will talk about briefly, where obviously Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell, his real-life son, play the same character in different time periods. There was, well, 2 instances where they kind of share scenes together, and that was kind of cool. I was super interested when they did that. I was like, okay, this is cool. It's cool sci-fi. I don't know how, in terms of the MonsterVerse, how well that fits with the lore, like the Hollow Earth and all that, which I don't want to knock the show too much for it, because anytime a show like this, where like a movie series comes first and then a TV show comes after, the TV show spinoff always ends up doing its own thing. Like the main one I think of is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with, like, you know, the Avengers and ABC, where like Phil Coulson was in the Avengers, and then he had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that stuck with the MCU up until what, season 2 with Winter Soldier, the whole Hydra reveal, and then eventually they just spun off and did their own thing. Like, oh yeah, that's not connected. I think that would be the best thing to happen with Monarch. I think it's kind of being tied down within the confines of the movie universe, which, let's be honest, people that watch movies aren't really watching this show unless you're like a die-hard monster fan. But if you're like a casual audience, they probably don't know the show exists. And if they do, they're like, oh, it's like loosely connected. They don't really care. But yeah, guys, this season is it's the perfect Monarch show. Like, it's the writing, the characters. Like, there's no characters to root for. I mean, I guess you could root for Kate if you like her. Like I said, I don't, but everything else is just paper thin. It's just like, and the dialogue is bad too. Like, not only are the characters, like, I guess you would say they're feelings and what they're doing, but also how they're talking. It's just, they talk like they're children, and they have to explain plots. Like, I don't know, it could not be this show's fault. I know Netflix is like notorious for this, where like you have to repeat the plot like 4 times because people are on their phones watching, streaming shows now. So you gotta repeat the plot so people on the phone be like, okay, what did they say? Okay, oh yeah. And so I won't knock the show too hard on that, because every streaming show pretty much does that now. They gotta, which is sad. People are too stupid and low attention that they can't, watch a show for like an hour and just put away all electronics. But that's the world we live in. So, yeah, well, I don't know what you can do about that. I'm trying to think of anything else that Monarch did. That was just the main thing I wanted to talk about. Was just, it's the writing. It's characters talk about their feelings in inappropriate times in every episode. And like the monsters, I will say this, the monster, and this is not this, it's all like monster movies where like you have the monster fight and then it cuts to the humans, but it's like, we want to see the monsters though. Quit cutting away from the humans. We don't care about them. Now people would argue, oh yes, humans have always been, integral to Godzilla stories, which they're right, but I think there is a right way or a wrong way to do it. I think here, the Kong fight, they did it, but it's a little bit better. The Godzilla fight, that was atrocious. I was so bored and annoyed by it, I should say. I don't know if it's gonna get renewed for season 3. I know there's a spin-off show with Wyatt coming out with like the younger Lee. As for the main Monarch show, I don't know if there's gonna be a season 3, but if they do, I hope they get all new writers, because if it's another one like this, I actually don't know if I'm gonna watch it. I mean, I probably will end up watching it because it's Godzilla Monsters, but yeah, it was just kind of sucks because like, I was so looking forward to this season, like season 2. The trailers look good. The reviews came out. Oh, it's improved on season 1. Okay, then I watched it, and it's like episode, 1 and 2 are good. Oh yes, the reviews are right. And then the middle of the show happens, and it's like, oh, they got us again, guys. Oh, aren't we the idiots for falling for this every single time? Oh, it's all so tiresome. One more thing I'll leave it on is like the overarching, I guess, stories of the like this season, I guess both seasons are interesting. Like monsters, like you got this Monarch organization where like they track monsters on the globe. That there's so much like cool story ideas you can do with that, but instead they always bring it back to these, this family drama about trauma. And oh my god, I mean, that's one thing I just remember all the trauma dumping that happens in the show. I mean, that's every show. It's just trauma this, trauma, I was abused, trauma. It's like, we get it. Like, you're screwed up. Okay, get to work. There's monsters out there trying to destroy things. Stop that. That's the main thing I want to leave this on. I don't mind, like, a Godzilla show having humans. They've always been, part of Godzilla's, history and movies, but just, please, make them interesting. Make them likable. Make them engaging. The only one remotely engaging is Kurt Russell, and that's like what, 75% of Kurt Russell's charisma doing all the heavy lifting. Everyone else is just like paper thin, just there. Like, oh, I'm here for a paycheck. I guess that's how we'll end this video, guys. Have you seen Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2? Did you watch the finale? If you did, what did you think? Comment below and you tell me your thoughts. Please like and subscribe, and I would say stay tuned for more, but I don't want to torture you. But so I guess I'd do anything better than watch a show like this.